All right. Today we have the Hit and Move gloves. The Hit and Move Suvari gloves made of horsehair padding. I got these in the yellow and black colorway in 16 ounces. As you can probably see there. Suvari gloves. I chose these ones specifically just because of the padding and the compact look of these gloves. They have a lot of different styles of gloves. They're probably one of my favorite companies just because they do such a good job with innovation, really, truthfully. So, yeah. So I know these gloves are, things I do know about these gloves is that they're made of Turkish leather. They're designed here in the United States, and the gloves are made in Pakistan, but designed here in the U.S. So, I mean, it is what it is. A lot of gloves right now are made in Pakistan. The leather quality of these gloves is pretty insane. When you think about a great glove, you have to think about how, I don't know what it is with this Turkish leather glove stuff, but it's thick. It's thick and has this nice, really durable feel to it. So I enjoy that about these gloves. This glove is, I would say, extremely compact. I got these gloves. They're 16 ounce, but they really feel like a 14 ounce glove. So, I love that. I think that's one of my favorite things about the gloves. Also, one of my big things about the glove is this polyester liner. Kind of has that Hit and Move logo inside as well. I think that's pretty neat. And I think that when you put your hands in, it's definitely a cooling touch. It's definitely good for people who have hot hands, who sweat, things of that nature. I I got these gloves I think in September of this year. So I think might be the newer model of the glove. I know before they had the model that was basically just, you can get them in white or black. These ones, I don't know if they're too different from the originals because I never even had the originals. But things I do like about them is that grip bar. Has a nice, curved grip bar. I wish the grip bar was a little more firm and a little bigger, but I love the idea of curving that grip bar. I think it's very comfortable. But I'm always a bigger fan of a thicker grip bar. When it comes to when you first get the glove, the first thing you'll notice when you put your hand in the glove is the extreme snug fit of the glove. And that's just normal. From the website, it says that, I try to find it, but it says that the padding is essentially foam and horsehair, right? So I'm guessing that the outer shell is going to be foam, the inner shell is going to be foam, and the middle is going to be sandwiched in between is going to be the horsehair. I don't know what the foam is. I don't know if it's their own special foam, so they don't really tell you about what it is. But I know that essentially it's pretty much 3 layers. It's going to be foam. From the pictures, it shows foam, horsehair, foam. Now, when you look at the description, they talk about like a memory foam that once you put your hands in, it's going to be snug, but once you start to use it and break in the glove, which is a big part of what I want to talk about, once you have to break in the glove, it'll conform to your hand. Now, this glove, when I first got it, was extremely stiff. I mean, the padding was like, now the padding is pretty much like a medium to soft, but when I first got them, they were hard, and there is a break-in period. I think I had to spend about like 20 rounds before I started feeling really comfortable with the glove. But I love that about that. I love gloves you have to break in because you have to pretty much work for it. You have to evolve with the glove, and it conforms to your hand. So at the end of the day, your hand is extremely snug, and it's not moving around like other gloves that may have a big hand compartment, and your hands are kind of shaking inside the glove and maneuvering around the glove. This keeps your hands in a good punch position, which I think is a big important part of why this glove is very popular. When it comes to the wrist protection, it feels like a hard EVA foam here. There really isn't any foam, too much foam here. It's very thin layer right here. So the wrist protection's okay. I would say It's not like a, you know, a Mexican made glove where you have that crazy wrist protection where your wrist is not going to move. You will have that moment where you could, you know, move your wrist around a little bit, which I think I kind of prefer it a lot of the time. In terms of the air holes, you have 4 air holes in the fingertip compartment. You have quite a bit on the thumb. I want to say there's 4, but there might be more that I cannot see. The leather is kind of, you know, it was a softer texture when I first got it, but it's kind of getting to a kind of a nice textured leather, which I enjoy. I don't like them too smooth. The stitching is pretty solid. I think that they really do a really good job at making sure that the glove itself is top tier. I will say some of the things about the glove, in terms of the hand positioning of the glove. Once you put your glove in, first of all, the first thing you notice is that it's silky smooth, but this hand position is extremely flat. And the pop of the glove is really, really loud. It comes with a nice broken in feel as well. I think the only big downside, and I wouldn't say it's a downside, of this glove, well, I'll get to the laces. The laces, I think, are a little short, but I think the biggest downside, which is not too big of a downside, is that my glove specifically came in underweight. When I weigh them, I think they're somewhere around 15.1, 15.2 ounces, which is about almost a whole ounce underweight. And I don't necessarily think that shocks me because I have other gloves. Let's just say I have a 14-ounce pair of gloves, and I think that they compare to the 14-ounce pair of gloves in terms of sizing. That's how compact they are. I'll just show you this new sporting glove. This new sporting glove is 14 ounces. This is a 16-ounce hit and move glove. As you can see, they're very close to size. Now, I'm not necessarily sure. I was expecting it to have, you know, the quality control on the weight would be really great. As you can see, like I said, 16 ounces. So that's my experience with them. On the bag and the mitts, they're unbelievable. I wouldn't, these are the best probably bag and mitt gloves you can get. I know the gloves are like $259 in price. I think they're 100% worth it. Now when it comes to sparring, I think they're a little compact, and I think anything with horsehair and that really, really flat punch surface, I think anything with that is going to be hard for your sparring partner to want to go through. But in conclusion, the glove is, you know, if I had to grade it, I'd say it's an A glove. I wouldn't necessarily give an A plus because of the weight of the glove. But everything else, the hand position, everything is perfect. So these gloves are definitely worth it, and they get high praise for a reason. And the colorway, obviously, I love this colorway, and I think they have like 7 other colorways that are just as great. So, you know, if you like compact gloves, feel like a fight glove, train in them, this is the glove.